Hey folks, this is Gray here, and today we're going to be looking at how to dehydrate blueberries. We're going to be using the London Sunshine Dehydrator. I will touch on this dehydrator real quick and we'll kind of go over it really fast, and then we're going to jump into how to dehydrate blueberries, specifically my method, which is the freezing your blueberries instead of other methods that are out there. But I will kind of touch on those while we're kind of going over and dehydrating and doing all that fun stuff like that. So stay tuned. Let's kind of get into this and dehydrate some blueberries for long-term food storage. All right, so first real quick, let's take a quick look at this dehydrator. Of course, you're gonna have some of these digital screens up here where you set your temp and your time and your power button, and of course your plus and minus on each side. This is a double-walled stainless steel dehydrator. It's made to last versus some of your other dehydrators. And as you can see, we've never used this dehydrator, so this is going to be a first that we're going to use. This is the power cord that comes with it. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trays on here. They are mesh metal base trays. If you look at them, they're actually pretty decent size, so too much stuff doesn't fall through. It also comes with some accessories. In the instruction guide that comes with the London Sunshine, it gives you a bunch of different options and specifications, but one thing you want to pay close attention to is the temperature suggested for foods and fruits. Here it kind of goes over herbs and flowers, breads, fruits, meat and fish. Kind of gives you a drying time that's a little bit determined by the thickness of course, the way you prepare your foods. But at least it gives you a generalized idea. I would also suggest buying a book on food dehydration. Get a couple of these little handy things to grab the hot things that are coming out of there so you can pull them out. Maybe you have something else, but it's nice that they come with it. You're also going to get a bunch of these inserts that you can put in there, depending on what you're dehydrating, so not to make a mess, as well as these solid silicone cooking bases as well, in case you're trying to, let's say, dehydrate eggs or whatnot, and other things that are associated with that might leak through. You can use something like this. You can see that this device here uses an automatic fan that circulates warm air and an interstitial layer that aids temperature distribution. This comes with 8 removable trays that you can use. Now, you don't have to use all of them at the same time, depending on how much airflow and what you're cooking in here, or dehydrating per se, so that you can use, let's say, one of these trays up here and kind of space your trays out a little bit more versus using them all in there. So you can set this dehydrator anywhere from 24 hours to 30 minutes in the different modes that you'll be using. And the temperature range is 95 degrees to 185 degrees Fahrenheit. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a couple of packages of my frozen blueberries, and then we're going to set them on the trays inside there. Now I'm going to do a small batch for the purposes of this video, but in the meantime I'm also going to be doing a lot more blueberries, so we should end up with a tremendous amount of blueberries because I have about 30 of these sitting in my freezer. Put your blueberries on the tray. You kind of want to just slide them in there and be careful not to make anything spill. Kind of going from here to here to here, and I'm going to do 4 trays. Now you can do more because blueberries aren't that tall, but I want this to dry effectively and efficiently, so I'm going to space them out this way, and we'll see the end result. All right, so as you can see here, I have the dehydrator set on 15 hours. Usually I do 15 hours first. I'll check on the blueberries after 15 hours, and then I'll adjust my time from there. Like again, it can take anywhere from 15 to 30 hours depending on the size and the moisture content. And then I have mine roughly at 131 degrees. And like I said, it goes anywhere from 125 to 130. For some reason, my magic number has always been 131. I know it sounds weird, but you know, folks, sometimes we get in the habit of doing certain things, and that's where we're at with that. If you can see how quiet this unit is, little to no noise. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of these racks, and then we're going to pull the blueberries out and put them so that you can see what the end result will be. I figure you guys don't want to sit here for 15 to 30 hours. All right, folks. Well, it's the next day, and they've been doing pretty good. I've been checking them. There's about 30 minutes left on this cycle, but from what I've looked, I got it on fan cycle to kind of cool everything down. But the blueberries look done. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to pull these out and then show you how they should look and how they should feel to make sure that your blueberries are absolutely dry, because the last thing that you want to do is get any mold or lose a bunch of blueberries due to the fact that one blueberry was not done properly. All right, so I find something that's going to work for me so that I can make it easy so that I don't lose any of my blueberries, and I'm just going to dump them in here just like that. That makes it easier so that they don't spill anywhere and I have blueberries all over the place. And I'll pull each tray out and dump them all in there to make my life that much more easier. And you hear that sound? Almost sounds like kind of like little pebbles or whatnot. That's always a good sound to hear, folks. So what you want to do is you just kind of want to check some of your blueberries, especially look for some of the bigger ones that are in there. As you can see, we have tons of dry blueberries. And then also we're going to look at how I store these for long-term storage. In the meantime, I'm going to have a little handful of snacks. So what I like to use is I like to use glass when I am vacuum sealing the dehydrated blueberries. You can use one of these bags or whatnot. Let's say if you want to keep some in your get home bag or stuff like that. But when I'm putting things on the shelf, I usually use like a ball jar or whatnot. And I prefer the wide mouth over anything. But you can use like one of these vacuum sealed bags as well. But I wanted to show you guys a little trick here in a minute. And kind of put these in here and kind of fill it up until you get all the way as close as you can to the top. There's going to be one other thing that you want to add to this before you go and seal it up. And I'm going to show you my process on sealing. Now, some people say you should use a scoop or whatnot because of your hands, but I washed my hands thoroughly before I started this whole process. And that's one thing is about being cleanly when you're processing food, because especially for anything for long-term storage, that's kind of, I think, high enough, right? That looks good. I'm also always going to throw at least one or two of these in there, these oxygen absorbers, because if there is any moisture in there, this is going to help it out. Now, you can just throw one on top to do that, but you can also, if you'd like, you can kind of take some of these out. Let me see. Let me move this over here so I don't make a mess. Take some of these out, and you go like halfway in there. Let me move this around so I don't squish into blueberries. Take one in there, throw one in there like that, and then you can kind of cover that with some of the other blueberries. Readjust, add some more blueberries or whatnot, and then throw another one on top. That's just some of the processes that I use. Everybody has a different process. It's just the way I do it. So we're going to put this lid on here and not go too tight, you know. It's kind of just sitting where it's resting on there. It's not tight yet. But all in all, it looks like we have a nice haul. I still have some more. These I'm probably going to put in a bag like this and be able to take with me and put it in my pack or take it to work and open it up for a healthy snack. But I'm going to show you the jar method now. So remember, we have two of these inside here. It's overkill, but hey, I'd rather be safe than sorry. So some of you folks might remember that I did a review on this not too long ago. So let's go ahead and turn this on. And someone asked, can this thing do jars? Well, let's find out, folks. Go ahead and remove the tray. And so the jars won't stand up upright like that, okay? But the jars can go this way. Now, I know you can put the smaller jars in there, but I just wanted to show that you actually can use this if you had to for something like this. Now, real quick, I just kind of want to spin that off and show you that this is not on there. I'm going to go ahead and just loosely put that on there. Not very tight, but enough on there so that when I put this in here, I'm not going to have any issues. Go ahead and set that down there. I'm going to change this to, sorry, I was doing some very delicate stuff the other day in regards to vacuum sealing, but I'm going to put this on 30. I don't need this because I'm not sealing any bags, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that down to 0. And then we're going to go ahead and close this thing. And we're going to go ahead and seal this thing up. Looks like I could have put some more berries in there. Actually, I have a little bit more room. But this thing is going ahead and vacuum seal this thing. Like I said, it takes about 30 seconds. I mean, I could have used a lot of different options, but I just wanted to show this machine was able to actually vacuum seal a jar. And I figured some of you folks may want to see that. There's that. All right, so let's go ahead and do that there. And as you can see, that thing is not coming off. That thing is super tight. There is no flex in that. That thing is super tight. It's nice and vacuum sealed. More than I'm telling you, this thing is on there tight. I did a test a couple days ago, and I literally had to not destroy the lid, but put something underneath there just to pop that lid off because I didn't want to cut myself trying to pull this off. So I'm going to go ahead and date this and set my blueberries in my prepper pantry and be good to go. And like I said, with those packets in there between this vacuum seal and the oxygen absorbers in here. Should be good to go for long-term storage. So that's how you dehydrate blueberries, specifically frozen blueberries, and my method of preserving my blueberries for long-term storage. One question I would like to ask you, the viewers, is one, what did you think of the dehydrator itself? What kind of dehydrator do you have at home? Are you looking to get a dehydrator and dehydrating food? Second, I would like to ask you folks, what kind of recipes have you used for dehydrated blueberries or blueberries in general? I'd like to hear from you folks in regards to if it's muffins, if it's pancakes, what do you add in those pancakes? What do you do with your dehydrated blueberries outside of just snacking on them as a little nutritious snack or for long-term food storage, because these will come in handy if you're going to have some pancake mix and you take your dehydrated blueberries. And you can also rehydrate blueberries. I don't know if some of folks, you can actually rehydrate these. You take a small bowl of water, you kind of room temperature water. You put the blueberries in there, make sure the blueberries are covered. Wait about 15 to 30 minutes, and then they kind of like rehydrate themselves. So that's another option. And some people will also grind up dehydrated blueberries and make them into a powder and use those in recipes as well. If you'd like to see some of that stuff down the road, please put that down in the comments. I'm also looking forward to hearing some of your answers to your recipes and your thoughts on the dehydrator itself. Now, that being said, if you got any value or enjoyed the video at all, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, I guess you will choose the other option. And then if you're new here, please subscribe and check out the rest of the channel and introduce yourself to the rest of the Grey community. Other than that, folks, remember, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound, and God bless, and thank you for watching.